Esports. 3 years ago, that word meant absolutely nothing to me, but today it really means everything. In this documentary, I want to highlight the benefits that esports can provide to students in both college and high school, and we're going to do this by exploring anecdotes from myself, my peers, and my fellow students. Before we start, I'd like to talk a little bit about how I got into this position to make this documentary in the first place. It all started around my junior year of high school. My relationship with video games was pretty casual at this point. I would play here and there with my friends, but I wouldn't really pursue it competitively just because of my involvement with music and theater after school. By the end of my senior year, Overwatch had become my favorite game by far. I started playing it when my friends went on, and that was a pretty big deal for me because I'd really only play games with my friends. After that, I joined an amateur esports scene to just learn more about the game, to improve, and just kind of pursue it competitively. My co-captain, Michael, signed us up for a little league called Golden Hammer Gaming, which was just a ton of fun. It was in that league that I got hooked on competing in Overwatch. Playing in these matches was the most fun that I've ever had gaming, just in general. The feeling of hitting a clutch shot when you're being streamed is just like, it's second to none. I loved every moment of competing. From the wins,
Nice job, guys.
Nice job.
Let's fucking go.
to the losses,
That's right.
just to the funny moments that you cheer with your friends in the middle of a game.
Oh, yeah.
I kept on competing, and eventually I became a top 500 player. At the same time, I got involved with Elmhurst University's esports program as a digital media intern. It was there where I discovered what I would want to do for the rest of my life. That brings us to the first benefit of esports, the social opportunities. Due to the online nature of esports, geography really isn't an issue when it comes to forming these friendships. Students are able to connect with each other across continents and even oceans. Overwatch led to a lot of my friendships forming that never would have formed in literally a million years. I've met friends from Arizona, Washington, North Dakota. Nowadays, most high schools and colleges in America have some sort of esports presence. Whether it's a club for students who play Smash Bros. Or just a fully fledged varsity program with full-ride scholarships like ISU. Students who play games can find solace in these organizations as it allows them to build a friendship out of an activity that they're already passionate about. In my case, that's exactly what happened. Elmhurst University's esports club started an Overwatch team, which in turn got me involved in the organization. The club opening up on campus changed my life in so many different ways. It really got me connected to campus, and I formed a ton of friendships that I wouldn't have formed without it. It provided me with leadership opportunities, professional development opportunities, and it really shaped me into the person that I am today. After I saw some of these benefits of being involved in an esports organization, I decided I wanted to spend the rest of my life spreading these benefits to as many students as possible by working as a college esports director. Now I just want to take a minute to highlight the 4 benefits that esports can bring to college campuses across the country. Esports programs can create a unique space for students with shared interests to come together. They can foster a sense of camaraderie and belonging. Just like traditional sports, esports can actually inspire school spirit and create a sense of unity among students, which is something that's pretty cool. These communities often extend beyond the game itself, leading to study groups, social events, parties, and just other forms of, social activity. This can make the college experience a lot more enjoyable and less isolating, which can contribute to improved student retention. This is a really big thing that I like to highlight just because of how many people were isolated during COVID. I really believe that esports can help reconnect students with friends on campus. Secondly, esports actually has a ton of really interesting academic opportunities bound within it. Esports is an interdisciplinary field that touches on a variety of academic areas. This can include computer science, game design, business, marketing, communications, even sports psychologists. Colleges can incorporate these aspects into their curriculum, providing students with hands-on, relevant learning experiences that can complement their traditional coursework. The third one is inclusivity. One of the great things about esports is that literally anyone can participate regardless of their physical abilities. I've actually seen a lot of athletes compete in esports too. Our Rocket League team on campus was pretty much at one point 100% made up of athletes. And the fourth one, and probably the biggest one, is recruitment. As some colleges are struggling with the oncoming demographic cliff, a lot of schools are looking for new and innovative ways to recruit students and to keep their numbers high. I think esports is the number one way to accomplish this and kind of mitigate some of the effects of the oncoming cliff. 97% of people aged 13 through, I think, 19 play some sort of video game in the past year. Gaming is one of the most inclusive and wide-reaching activities that a student can participate in. If a student's inclined to compete in these games and compete in esports, That's a huge demographic that the school could use to attract potential students and keep their enrollment numbers up. As I said before, almost every single high school around the Chicagoland area has some sort of esports program in it, whether it's just a Smash Club or like multiple teams or something like that. There's a really cool opportunity to bring these students out to our campuses to give them tours, to show them what opportunities await them at the collegiate level. This is really cool because it can incentivize students to pursue a bachelor's degree if they weren't thinking about it. If you get them to pursue something they love while they are churning through their classes, it can make the whole process a lot more enjoyable, and it can really increase the chances of them graduating from the university with that degree. While I was at Elmhurst, the most fulfilling thing I got to do was actually create a scholarship for esports, which is something that I'm incredibly proud of. But I needed to give it out to students. I started setting up high school visits, and the first one I set one up with was York High School, because they're literally like 3 blocks away. And they came through. It was really cool. We got pizza for them. We showed them around the campus, gave them a tour. We played some games with them in our esports lab. It was really a really awesome experience for these students. I think they really enjoyed it. And after the fact, a couple of the students had reached out to me inquiring to see if I could coach one of their teams over the summer, which I did. So I started coaching Will and Finn's team, which was a ton of fun. They learned so much in such a short span of time. I'm really proud of them. And yeah, we became friends after, and we've been keeping in touch. So after that, I decided to reach out to them to see if they would be interested in doing an interview for this capstone. We're gonna check in with Will, with Finn, and with Will's dad actually, to see how it's affected their lives academically and socially. First, we're gonna check in with Will, current main support for Hivemind Esports.
Sharks, today I am asking to play Lucio on Ilios Well. In return, you can guarantee 3 boops into the well.
Could you just state again how you got involved in your high school esports?
Yeah, so I got an email from my counselor, and I think it was September of 2020. This is borderline peak pandemic. And so we're just kind of getting back into school. I got the email, and I used that as a leverage to kind of convince my parents to get a PC, saying, hey, it's something for me to do, and it's a good club for me to join. And kind of ever since then, I've been playing a lot. That's how it all started. The York team started up again, my senior year. And then that's where I met you, through the Elmhurst Esports program, and how we went and visited Elmhurst College. I still have that picture. That was a really, really fun first time playing LAN, first time getting all the guys together on the York team and all playing in one spot. That was a ton of fun.
Could you talk about the impact that your high school esports organization had on you as a person, if it did any at all?
Oh, it had a ton. So obviously outside of introducing me to esports, it allowed me to meet some people that I otherwise would not talk to, otherwise not hang out with. And I think that's the biggest impact of it, is just the ability to meet new people, meet interesting people, meet people that have similar interests to you. Because if you like playing Overwatch competitively, there's going to be other people that do that. And if you have one interest in mind, you're probably going to have some more. So I would say just the impact socially is really, really nice.
Do you think that the traits that you've continued to work on in esports, like being competitive, having a good kind of mental mindset, do you think continuing to work on those will help you as you look for a career post-graduation?
Absolutely it was. My goal is to make a career in video games, making them. And it gives, first of all, it gives good perspective from a competitive side. From their point of view, what they think of balances, how the game works and stuff like that. They think of it very differently than a group of friends that get on and play quick play for an hour on Fridays. So it helps me there, and also it helps me meet new people and very interesting people. I think the most fascinating people I've ever met online have been through video games, through esports, and that's, I would say it definitely has helped me, awesome. And it will help me in the future. Okay. Can you recall one of your fondest memories in esports? Absolutely. So obviously the jersey I'm wearing is the Dallas Feel Free Overwatch League. And right up there is the sign I had that I had when I went to my first live event in esports, and that was in Dallas, Texas. I used my own money because I work over the summer. I used my money to buy a plane ticket, and then my dad came with me, and then we watched the Battle for Texas live in person, And honestly, I think that's probably a top 10 day of my life. I absolutely loved it. To go from watching these guys all the time on the screen to being in person, having thousands of fans around you cheering, all for the same goal. It's a really fun and motivating thing to work towards.
One to two words. Like, what would you say your favorite thing about esports is?
I'd say the competitiveness. Back in middle school, elementary school and middle school, I played a lot of sports. I was a big lacrosse player. Eventually, everybody grew, and I didn't. And so I was an attack player, and I was just getting matched up when I was 5'3" with these 5'8", 5'9" defenders, and I couldn't do anything. So I ended up stopped playing sports, and esports and that in general is the way for me to express my competitiveness. And so I would say competitiveness.
Do you think like having a support system is important? Like, I know like your family is pretty supportive of you.
Absolutely. So obviously most people don't know this, but my dad runs a propaganda account about me, and he'll tweet about my team and stuff like that. And it's very awesome. And I think I definitely couldn't get to where I am today without the overwhelming support from my family. They always have my best interests in mind. When I'm home and I'm scrimming, half the time my dad will just be sitting over my soldier just watching. Says he gets a headache, but it doesn't matter. But support is really important.
Hi, my name's Steve Groya. I am Will Groya's dad and the proud operator of the Clem Chief of Propaganda Twitter account for my son and his esports teams. Thought this could be a fun way to support Will, even though I don't know what the hell's going on in some of those games, and it worked out great. And so there was this guy that ran this Twitter account for Michigan State sports. So I went to Michigan State, and he just says funny things. And I thought, man, it'd be great to do that for Will. And I told him before I did it, I said, hey, would you mind if I did this? And he kind of, the dog thing, kind of gave me that little thing. And then it kind of took on a life of its own. And it was a way, for him to see that, while I may not understand it, doesn't mean I don't support it or want to see him do well. And, it's just a little bit different than some of the other sports.
You're like a celebrity. Everyone loves, like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, like just your tweets.
That's what kind of made it more fun. So when he was doing it on the other team, and then, it kind of took off, and then they embraced it. Like, I was nervous because I asked him, I said, listen, if you get heat, I'll shut this thing down, and I'm doing it for fun, and hopefully people know it's meant out of support, but it's also a parody account too. So like, I'm going out of my way to be over, kind of supportive in a way and fun. And I do remember, he's at the table back here, and that's where he started playing. And when they had the Luminous Foxes shirts, he didn't know I bought a whole bunch of them, but then I came down and came around the corner.
I can see if I can get one.
I think I have one in the closet.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and you guys have all been great about it too. And then, all of his friends have done it. And then we got on one call after, like, they won a big game and was talking to everybody and stuff like that. So it's been fun, and it's a great way to support him and the team. And, I think the interesting thing is there's a lot of people here, like, even, he studies esports. You study esports at Elmhurst. He does it at Michigan State. I didn't even know these programs existed. And to see that there is an outlet, a real career opportunities, it's cool stuff, and it should be supported just like anything else should be supported. And I'm just glad that through that account, we're able to do that.
Over the past 4 years, I've had the opportunity to play on around 6 or 7 teams. I've managed around 5 teams, and I've actually coached about 3 or 4 teams. So I've been around, and I've made hundreds of connections over the past couple of years. And I thought it would be cool to reach out to a lot of those connections to see if they would contribute to this project. So this is a little montage section where each person just sort of lists their favorite aspect of esports in a word to a sentence. In this project, I have ex-teammates contributing and even Overwatch League casters from the literal top of the industry. So thank you so much to everyone who submitted a clip. And without further ado, here it is.
Probably the fact I get to meet people I would have never have met without doing this, and I get to do what I love, and they get to do what they love at the same time. It's really special to me.
My favorite aspect of Overwatch Esports is the friends you make along the way. No ranked game will ever be as satisfying as winning with a team you've grown to enjoy playing with.
Esports have helped me develop leadership qualities.
Passion, like completely. There's just so much passion that people have for both the esport and for each other, for building these communities, and it's really cool to see.
I'd say the competitiveness.
The heart-stopping hype.
I really like the community. I've met a lot of people from a lot of places, and just it's really cool to kind of meet new people.
I mean, I think my favorite part is like when everyone's just so excited and you're like in a Discord call and everyone's shouting and screaming about something cool that just happened. That's just really fun.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This about wraps it up. I hope you were able to learn something about collegiate esports and the benefits it can provide to students. I'm really interested to see where this can go over the next couple of years and how many more students we can affect in a positive light. Elmhurst in a couple of years, I think, will build a very influential and impactful program for students. So that'll be really exciting to see what they do. And I really can't wait to see where esports ends up in 5 years. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.